everyone. As Mike said, my name's Beth Newton. I'm a project manager within CH2M, and I'm currently working on a pretty exciting project, well, I think it is, which is the M4 Smart Motorway as a senior package lead. So, apologies if you were expecting someone a little bit different. I admit, I am youngish, maybe not as young as I'd like, female, and you might have noticed I'm actually Welsh. And not just any Welsh, this is quite a distinction. I am a Valleys girl. So, so you might ask, well, what has that got to do with anything? And the answer is, I grew up in an area that has been shaped by infrastructure, from the railways and the canals that took the coal from the mines to the docks, to the M4. Now, the M4 is one of, I think there's only 3, and to be honest, they all link into the M4, motorways in Wales. We don't have many, so we're quite proud of the M4. And it's played a massive part in the economic stability and at least the flourishing of the economy of South Wales, including the ability to bring in other industries apart from coal and natural extraction, so manufacturing, etc. But, as much as we'd like to keep the M4 for ourselves, the Welsh people have been kind enough to share it with England, and it actually goes all the way to that town called London, and it's actually that stretch between London and Reading that I have the proud honour of actually working on. Now, that stretch is going to be upgraded to Smart Motorway, and if I'm honest, it's a challenging project, it's exciting, and it is the biggest and best Smart Motorway project ever. I don't care if you work for the M6, it doesn't matter. The M4 is it. So, why is it the biggest and best? Well, you know, it's the Prime Minister's constituency. We run through it. It leads to Windsor. You know, it's the Queen's Front Drive. And we are doing lots of exciting things like 11 new overbridges. It's not many smart motorways projects that demolished 11 and built 11 new structures. Pretty big. So I'm proud that as part of CH, I get to work on projects like this. And I know that I've got colleagues who work on the A14, HS2, Crossrail, Thames Tideway, all sorts of other exciting projects. And we're all proud because we get to design and deliver some of the best infrastructure projects in the country. So that leads me to the second part, which is how did a Valleys girl, and I am a proper Valleys girl, you know, I come from a mining village, end up as a civil engineer working in major projects? Well, part of it was I was stubborn. I didn't want to go with the flow. I was looking for something a bit different. And if I'm honest, civil engineering didn't even enter my mind. I didn't even know what a civil engineer was. Not a clue. But my teacher told me to go away and have a look. I did, and I thought, oh, that's quite interesting. But one of the reasons why I didn't have any clue about civil engineering is I'd never met one, and I'd certainly never met a female one. We know that as an industry, we're facing a pretty big challenge at the moment. It's the skill shortage. In order for us to deliver on the infrastructure spending, and we're talking $6 billion within the next 4 years, that's pretty large. We need to massively increase our workforce. Now, I don't know if anyone else has read this, but Highways UK have recently done a skill shortage survey. And I read it in advance of this and trying to come up with some ideas as to what I was going to talk about. And they called it the ticking time bomb. Now, there was one thing that literally jumped out at me from that. Less than 15% of our industry is female or from an ethnic minority. And if I'm honest tonight, that's kind of the numbers I'm seeing around the room. So we've got to do something about that. We really do. It does not represent anyone's community. It certainly doesn't represent the Welsh Valleys, even though some might think it does. It doesn't. So how do we make engineering more visible, more representative, and let's be honest, more appealing to women like me and others who maybe not even thought about entering engineering? And the other thing we have to think of, there's a lot of talent already within our industry, and we have to maximize that talent because it's not going to be easy solving this problem. So we have to use the people we already have as well. Now, at university, my class was 90 people, and I was one of 8 women. I was the only Welsh one as well, but I was one of 8 women. And I'm lucky at CH that my CEO is a woman, Jackie Hinman. My European Managing Director is a woman, Rachel White. The person who's leading the CH side of our merger with Jacobs is a woman, Lisa Glatch. So I can see senior leaders within my business that look like me. Not everyone is that lucky. I'm also lucky that, as Mike mentioned, I got to take part in Rhodes Academy. I got to be involved with the Major Projects Association through CH's involvement with it. And I got to progress my career through things like the Jump Network within CH and the Women's Network. And that worked because my company does encourage diversity. But the job isn't done, not even for CH. So, as an industry, we have to do better. We have to. We need to leverage programs like Rhodes Academy. And I know that they've actually been doing some Lego exercises today. And I would encourage anyone to go along if you haven't heard about it. At the moment, they have actually introduced more than one avenue to go through their leadership program. And I would encourage anyone, any talent or little glimmer of talent you see in your staff, go and find out which of those programs is good for them. Because seriously, it helped me, it helped Mike, it helped so many other people to actually progress and to take that next step. So we need to promote our projects wider. I'm not being funny, but you often see negative press about some of our bigger projects, you know, HS2 and the spend and various other aspects. Or even smart motorways can get negative press. Now, I remember being in primary school and going on a trip to see the Channel Tunnel being built. We need to be doing more of that. We need to be promoting it as an exciting environment, as an exciting career option. I mean, I thought it was great to be able to imagine that massive machine boring underneath the ocean. Brilliant. And we have to challenge ourselves. Are we really being as active as we can with STEM? In schools, primary, secondary, are we pushing ourselves to the limit? I don't think we are. There's a lot of service providers for Highways England in this room. Is every single one of them on Highways England's diversity supply chain forum? Everyone? Really? Ask yourself that question. But for me, there's one fundamental aspect of how we can encourage diversity and through that help solve the skill shortage. And that is celebrating our sector. Now, I'm proud of being Welsh, I'm proud of being a Valleys girl, but I'm also incredibly proud of being a civil engineer who gets to work on exciting major projects. So we need to actually show people how exciting our industry is, that it is transformative, exciting, challenging, that we are pushing the boundaries with technology. We need to be loud and proud and go out there and champion each and every one of our projects. I know that I work on the best one, the M4, but I'm pretty sure everyone else in this room thinks that they work on the best one. So go out there and tell people, show people what we do. Because let's be honest, if they knew more about them, if they felt welcomed and they felt represented, who wouldn't want to work on these projects? They're brilliant. So on that note, I'll just ask you to think about, have you really pushed the limits of what you can do for diversity and our skill shortage? Thank you, and have a good evening.